And now I will talk about the impotence of knowledge. How knowing what the situation is can even prevent us from acting, from doing something. If you just follow the media, I'm sure you have noticed a strange thing. We are all the time told what our situation is and what is wrong. There was a conference half a year ago in Glasgow about the dangers of global warming, where all the right things were said. We need global cooperation, we need to change our entire way of life to cope with global catastrophe, and so on. But these were just words. They adopted some empty rhetorical measures, but nothing really changed. So we live in a strange time where we know what is wrong, pandemic, global warming, now the war. We know even vaguely what has to be done, but although we talk a lot of time about it, we are unable to act. Why? We cannot act precisely because we are hyperactive all the time. Look at our daily life in today's global capitalism. All the time, you have to be active, intervene, participate in something, and so on and so on. But in order to properly act, to change things, you have to step back a little bit, to acquire a minimal distance. This, we cannot do it. The system never leaves us alone. It's something that I know very well, because in psychoanalysis, we call it obsessional neurosis. And I know what I'm talking about because I think I'm one of them. An obsessional neurotic is active, talks all the time, but not in order to achieve something, but in order to make it sure that nothing will really change. And I'm sometimes like that. I talk all the time. Why? Because I am afraid that if for a short minute I stop talking, you will maybe notice the vacuity of what I'm saying and ask me a real question. So you see the paradox. Being hyperactive is a way to make it sure that nothing will really change. You know who knew this clearly? George Orwell. He wrote already back in 1937 that progressive radical leftists talk all the time about how necessary it is to change society, but he said they talk all the time about it, but with the secret wish that nothing will really change. This is also why I think many public intellectuals today like to spread total pessimism, like we are already 5 minutes past 12, we are doomed. It means I'm in a comfortable position of knowing that everything points towards a catastrophe. I don't have to act, to do anything. In psychoanalysis, we call this cynical reason, or in technical terms, fetishism. We know what the situation is, but instead of making us act, talking is here as an excuse not to do anything. If some of people viewing this show are in any way involved in art exhibitions, art biennales, they know what I'm talking about. If there is a form of art which is fully integrated into capitalist circulation, are these big art biennales. Venice, Kassel, and so on. And their ideology is strictly radically leftist. You have endless debates about how to fight global capitalism, how we are all manipulated by big capital, but they fit perfectly the global capital. The formula of cynical reason was proposed half a century ago by German philosopher Peter Sloterdijk, who said, people know what they are doing, horrors, dangers about what they are doing, but they are nonetheless doing it. Did you already encounter a person who is properly cynical like this? I did when I was young, in communist times. At my department of philosophy, there was a very cynical, corrupted professor who openly told us students, I know I'm a piece of shit. I cheat, I inform to police, but that's it. What can I do? I'm like that. You know where he was cheating? He thought that if he says this openly, if it in some way redeems him, it makes him better. No, it doesn't. The formula that applies here is the wonderful formula, a joke from one of the Marx Brothers movies. I think it's duck soup, but I'm not sure. Where Groucho Marx, a lawyer in the movie, defending an idiot, says, this man looks as an idiot and acts as an idiot, but this shouldn't deceive you. This man really is an idiot.
He really is an idiot. I implore you.
That's how we function today, unfortunately. Again, we live in an era of cynical reasoning where telling the truth is not enough. You can say the truth, but it's immediately incorporated. There is a film, which is not a great film, but nonetheless, it demonstrates this aspect of our predicament perfectly. It is Adam McKay's Don't Look Up, about, you know, a comet approaching the Earth, threatening to destroy all life on the Earth. And the target of the film are not some kind of Donald Trump-like populists, but precisely the democratic establishment and protesters who warn, we are all in danger, look up. And they just make the spectacle out of the danger, but they don't do anything really. Life goes on as normal, and this is, I think, this is our problem today.